Hi everybody, hope you're having a good day. I thought I would share with you a coaching conversation that I had this week with a client. Hopefully my children will come back once I've done it, otherwise there's going to be lots of noise. This client is a leader and she wanted to talk about empathy because what she realised after being in a meeting last week that at times she can be too empathetic. The situation was that she was in a meeting with a colleague, and the colleague came to the meeting with what they thought was a really good idea. They ran through the idea and she believed that actually it wasn't the right thing to do at this moment in time for various reasons. She could see immediately that her colleague was disappointed, upset, frustrated, and it's very natural for her to show an empathetic side. But what she found was, the way she described it was as though if she had an empathy dial, she had turned that dial up too much. And that she started to really consume the feelings that her colleague was having. So she could really feel the disappointment, really feel the frustration. So much so that it prevented her from being the leader that she is and leading on this particular project and making the decision and being able to explain to her colleague, actually, this isn't what I want to do right now. Instead, she said to her colleague, okay, you can run with this. And that was kind of the end of the meeting. Now, the thing is, this idea was never going to break the bank. It was never going to make the company go bust. But it meant that my client walked away from the meeting feeling disappointed with herself that she hadn't led, she hadn't been that leader, she hadn't made the decision that she believed would be the right decision, even though she had shown great empathy for her colleague. So she wanted to try and see when she recognises that dial is being turned up too much, how can she prevent that once she realises that it's turning? And so we discussed a few ways. And one of the ways was to make sure that she is being understood well enough by her colleague. And that might mean that she may say to them something along the lines of, I hope that you understand where I'm coming from. I hope that you feel that I've listened. I hope you feel that we've explored this enough. Because at least she was giving her colleague the opportunity to say, actually, no, I don't feel like I've been listened to. I don't feel like we've explored it enough. But it also gives her colleague the opportunity to think, actually, yeah, do you know what? I'm disappointed with the result, but yes, actually, I think you have listened. And actually, there isn't really anything more to say on this topic. So it just means that you have been true to yourself as a leader, but you've also communicated well enough that your colleague is able to understand why you came to the decision that you did. Otherwise, your colleague may feel that you've just shut down shut down an idea, a really good idea that they've had. And they're not going to leave the meeting feeling empowered. They're not going to leave the meeting feeling great. And so she felt that by being in that meeting, if she'd been able to ask those questions, that actually both of them would have left the meeting in a much better way. So have a think, next time that you might find yourself in a similar situation, have a think, is your empathy dialing up too much, but also is it dialing down too much? Do you actually need to show more empathy? Have you communicated well enough? Are you giving your colleague the opportunity that you understand how they're feeling? You've shown that empathy, but you also need them to understand by communicating well how you're feeling as well. So hopefully you found that helpful. I'd love to hear from you with any ideas, thoughts. Maybe you found yourself in a similar situation. Just send me a DM. Or if you'd like to share this with anybody that you think it might be useful for. I will be sharing more coaching conversations with you in the near future. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.